Hey guys, how are you?
Good.
I just wanted to get everybody together just for a workplace health and safety meeting. I think there's a few things that we just need to go through. Kine, thanks for joining us today, and Ray, thanks for joining us.
Thanks, Jeanette.
So I have Kine, who is a PT in the gym, and then myself, Jeanette, who's a PT and nutritionist, and Ray, manager of the gym. So that's who is in attendance today. Our agenda items today, we've got 6 to get through. We'll go, agenda 1 is workplace health and safety within the workplace. Number 2 is hazard identification. 3 is risk control. 4, reviewing control measures. 5, incident reporting. And 6, employee health and welfare. All good?
Perfect.
Cool, let's get through it. So agenda number 1, workplace health and safety within the workplace. So obviously we work in a gym, we've really got to make sure that we try and our priority is health and safety for staff and members within the gym. So there's just a few things I really want to go through, referring to the 2011 workplace health and safety regulations. If you guys could just bear with me 1 second.
No worries.
So, just talk about our facilities required to manage risk. Under the Workplace Health and Safety Act 2011, our facility has a legal duty to ensure that the health and safety of everyone who works here, trains here, or visits. This means we need to identify hazards, assess potential risks, and put controls in place to prevent injuries and incidents. And I just want to ask you a quick question. True or false? Is it only your responsibility as the manager to ensure the safety in the gym?
No, false. It's everyone's responsibility.
Wonderful. Thank you for answering that, Ray. That is correct answer. Yes, I think as a whole team, and it's even sort of the members' responsibility as well, and I think we need to make them aware, and we'll go through some of those control measures soon, just because of the few things I want to go through that I've noticed in the gym that I think we can work on with the members as well, just to prevent that risk of injury and risk of harm. We should be checking gym equipment regularly, keeping floors clean and clear, having clear emergency procedures. So managing risk isn't just about following the law, it's also about keeping our staff and members safe, creating a positive environment and protecting everyone's well-being. If we fail to manage these risks, it could lead to legal penalties, financial consequences, or harm to our reputation. I don't think any of us want that. No. So it's really important we all understand and follow our workplace health and safety procedures. I think the key takeaway is everyone's responsibility, and by actively managing risk, we help assure that everyone can train safely and confidently. You all agree with that?
Yes.
Amazing. Okay, so we'll get into agenda 2, which was hazard identification. And as I said, I had noticed there was a few things around the gym that I think that we could probably work on straight away. So what I had here is just got a risk register. So basically I just have my 3 hazards that I identified within the gym.
Yep.
The severity of the impact, which basically means, so according to the estimate of the consequence, the estimate of the likelihood of it occurring, and the estimate level of risk. So basically if you have the consequence, the ones that I found are pretty minor. So basically if someone was, for example, if there was like a walkway that was cluttered and someone was tripping over someone else's bag, like a member's bag or something like that, generally speaking, or if they're tripping over equipment that hasn't been stored properly, like plates or a machine or something like that, generally speaking, it'd probably just be first aid treatment, hopefully not a trip to the hospital or something like that. So that's a minor, so all 3 of these are minor. If we do have clutter and that sort of thing, it is likely someone is going to trip over it. Yeah, it's a hazard and it's a risk of injury. Yeah, just a minor injury. So I'll just go through the 3 that I identified. So the first one, so poor cooling, because obviously in our gym we only have fans. We don't have air conditioning. So as the weather's heating up, there is the chance of overheating, especially if people are working out really hard in this heat and not hydrating themselves correctly. Okay, so that's just one thing. Probably just make members aware that make sure they bring a towel and bring their own water and make sure they keep their hydration up. But with the fans, I think if there's an issue with power or if the fans aren't working, I think we need to obviously contact an electrician and we'll get those fixed. But just making sure that we're keeping them nice and clean as well, free from dust, and just making sure they're working correctly. So just make sure we're wearing, so just one other thing. So the method, just make sure we wear our PPE gear, so wearing gloves, making sure you're using cloths and disinfectant to clean the fans, yeah?
Perfect.
And like I said, we'll get an electrician to check the power outlets and all those things, just making sure it's all working correctly. And like I said, we'll do that immediately. I think what we'll do, because we've just got these three, and the due date is now, I think it needs to be looked at now, only because I've identified these hazards. I think we should do it maybe up a roster or something like that. So whenever we're on shift, if you could just go around and have a look at the fans, just do spot checks. I think that's probably one of the good ways to do it.
Yeah.
So another one is the equipment's not stored properly. So quite often the plates may not be stored properly, and we do have a designated area for our plates. So let's just make sure they're stacked up rather than, if someone's used open gym, they may have left plates on the floor or something like that. Or if they've left out a sled or something, yeah? Or there's ropes and all that kind of thing. We're just going to do spot checks when you're on shift.
Yeah.
Just make sure everything is stored correctly. Just reducing the hazard of trips and that kind of thing. And damage to the equipment as well. So if we store it properly, there's less chance of damage to our equipment. And just as we're coming into the entrance, I don't know if you notice, if you think about the entrance to our gym, it's quite cluttered because we've only got a small gym. So if you think about where the pigeonholes are, where the members store their bags, quite often, especially if we've got a large class, there could be clutter all over the floor because people aren't putting their bags in, or people have left their equipment or their belongings inside the pigeonholes and there's no room for everyone else's bags. So we just got to be aware of that. Yeah, so I think we might need to have a look at that. Maybe another solution there, maybe move some of the machines out, just clear up that entrance area. And even just for an emergency situation, getting in and out of the gym, if there's clutter, it's going to be absolute chaos getting in and getting out of the gym in an emergency situation. So we all good with that?
Yep.
Yeah, amazing. All right, so risk done. So agenda 3, we have risk control. I'm just going to go through. Oh, that was basically, I just did agenda 3 and agenda 2. So we've pretty much done agenda 3. So we'll go on to, we won't go through that again. Number 4, reviewing control measures. So, hang on a minute, number 4. Where's my number 4? I think I've done number 4 as well. Jeez, I think I have. Yeah, wow, I've just done 2, 3 and 4,
Okay.
all in one go. So agenda number 5, that's good. Okay, so incident reporting. So now I'll come over to you, Ray. So we had an incident occur just the other day. So I'm just going to go through the incident report form with you. And I'm actually giving you I've already given you a hard copy of this.
Yep.
But I just want to go through it just so Kyan's aware of what occurred, and I think it's just really important that we talk to the whole staff about certain incidents that occurred, just in case it happens again, and just so we know what to do, just so we have some continuity there. So the other day, on the 1st of October at 6 a.m, so it was in the morning, I was actually on the gym floor doing a PT, a one-on-one, and I heard some commotion come from the weights room. Michaela came running to me in the main gym area where I was with my PT,
Yep.
and she said that she saw Gerald fainting, consequently falling over, and he hit his head. And he was basically unconscious.
Okay.
Yeah. So obviously what I did straight away was run to the weight. I ceased my PT, went straight to the weights room, and did the necessary first aid that I needed to do.
Yep.
So I'll just describe to you what I actually did
Yep.
to resolve the incident. the best way I could. Surroundings were checked to ensure safety for all involved, ensured all equipment was out of the way and all bystanders were asked to stand back. I gently tapped Gerald on the shoulder and asked if he was okay. He responded and was breathing normally, thankfully. Made sure he was lying flat on his back. I elevated his legs just a little bit, yes, and make sure that all the blood was coming to the most important areas, including his heart, obviously. And reassured him and encouraged him to rest, laying down until he felt fully recovered. Helped him sit up slowly and stand up gradually.
Perfect.
So thankfully, it ended up being an okay situation.
Yep.
Yeah, so he had only just fainted. We actually thought he was unconscious, but he actually wasn't. He came to, thanks to the first aid, it was all good, yeah. And obviously we needed to check on him, make sure that he rested, make sure he didn't get straight in the car and drive home, that kind of thing.
Yep.
So like I said, I gave you the hard copy in person, so we have that on file. Yep. And all my details are on there.
Excellent.
Yeah, we all good with that?
Yep.
So just making sure if there is an incident in the gym, we make sure that we do use this incident report form, so it's on file.
Yep.
We can either just hand the hard copy kind straight to the manager, to management, or we can send it via email, but just as long as it's on file, it's in writing, just in case, for example, if Gerald came back, in a few months' time with any particular problems, do you know what I mean? And we can go back and say, well, he did faint at the gym at one stage and hit his head. This is exactly what happened, that kind of thing. Just to save, to save us, do you know what I mean?
Yep.
Yeah, perfect. Okay. Okay, agenda 6, we're nearly there. Employee health and welfare. So I'm just going to chat with you again, Ray, but I think you can still get a lot out of this, because I really want you to think about your stress and fatigue in the workplace and how you've been feeling, with your shifts and work overload, if you're overwhelmed at all, if you're feeling stressed, if you're feeling overtired, any of those symptoms, make sure you come and speak to Manager Ray, and we can have a chat to you. Yeah, have a chat to you and make any changes that need to be made. Yeah. So I'll just go through, I just did a assessment on my stress and fatigue, Ray. So I had this monitoring form,
yep,
which is really, really handy if you ever want to do this kind. It's just really good to go through your indicators just to see where you are with your stress and fatigue, if you have any of those feelings. So basically I've got my fatigue risk checklist. So yes, I'm working long periods, which is physically demanding and mentally demanding. My work roster includes shift work because work is performed at low body clock times between 2 a.m. and 6 a.m. So I've self-monitored some symptoms to see if I can find any indications of stress or fatigue. So I have short-term memory problems, I have inability to concentrate, I have impaired decision making and judgment, feeling drowsy, have headaches, I'm prone to headaches, not really bad headaches, but headaches, a bit of dizziness and need for extended sleep during days off work. Yeah, so just as a control measure, yes, I've come to talk to you about it. And yeah, we did have a chat about it. And so one of the control measures for stress and fatigue for my situation in particular, and I think you can get a little bit out of this too, Kyan, is in consultation with Ray, the gym manager, I have negotiated different casual work hours that do not include the early start 5 a.m. and late finish 7 p.m, essentially split shift.
Yep.
I will coach the classes that fall within 9 a.m. and 5 p.m. instead.
Yep.
This currently aligns with running my own business, family commitments and other casual work. So we came to agreement with that and that was really good. So
yep,
we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, great.
So guys, that's all the agendas done. That was really nice, really nice and swift. Did you get a lot out of that?
I did.
Yeah, does it all kind of make sense? Did you have any questions at this stage?
No questions.
No?
Yeah,
All right.
good.
So just to, in summary, just for the, just to summarise the agenda items. So we went through the workplace health and safety according to the 2011 regulations. Did you have any questions about that?
No.
I think we can all work together
Yep.
to ensure the health and safety of all our staff and the members. Yeah. And with our hazard identification, I think we're all in agreement that if we can work out a roster or just do spot checks on shift, I think if we can keep all that up to date, just making sure walkways and entrances and exits are clear and all equipment is put away properly. I think that's probably if we can do that straight away,
Yep.
that's going to really minimise risk and hazards and injury for everybody, not just the members but for staff as well, because we want a safe workplace. And number 5, you are happy with the hard copy of the incident reporting.
Perfect.
And you're well aware that we need to fill out the incident report. If there's anything, even just the most minor things, we just write it down just to save yourself. Yeah. Amazing. And then we just talked about employee health and welfare with stress and fatigue management. So we're all clear there?
Yep. Great.
Amazing. Well, I'll end the meeting there. Thank you so much for attending, guys.
Thanks, Jan.
Let's go.
Thank you. Excellent. Well done. Did well.
That was so funny because we talked through